Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Prediction Show. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me, as always, it's been a full year since we've done it. I figured we'd come back with a pay-per-view. The last one that we did, it was in Australia. We found out about the shoeies, drinking shoeies at friggin' in the afternoon, as hot as hell in Australia. It was kind of disgusting. It was kind of crude, and it was kind of rude. But we're doing the Elimination Chamber from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. What's that all about? My mommy, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay, but first and foremost, I will say this. Nothing will ever beat last year with the shoey, because now you know what a shoey is and you're disgusted.
It's disgusting.
I'm saying people do it. It's an Australian tradition to drink, have a little shotski, put it in a shoe, and then, douse it, man.
Let them drink it.
I'm just saying, man. Good God. But yes, shoeys aside, I will say this before we do get into our predictions. Rhea Ripley put out a tweet talking about it's not okay because somebody went to her house, sent her something. You know what I'm saying? Whether she said it's in person or sent something through the mail, somebody got her address and send them fan mail or whatever it was. And it's like, it's not okay because you don't know what that person's sending, number one. And number two, she even said in a vlog with Logan Paul, I know your favorite person. We'll get to him later. But she's just like, yeah, this girl was like, I looked on the ring camera, and this girl was like standing there for 15 minutes, and she had a smile on her face like the movie Smile, like that creepy smile that you see in the movies, the horror film.
Mm-hmm.
One girl was just standing there 15 minutes. It's like people. It's called privacy. It's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Just like let people have their privacy. If you're going to do something like this, friggin' go to a signing, go to a meet and greet, anything where they're available.
Or mail it to the WWE.
I mean, hell, I know the cat's over here. So the thing is, hey, Mr. J. So the P.O. boxes are a thing too, So it's like if somebody has a P.O. box, send them to the P.O. box. But I also look at it from a stance like this. And we've talked about this. Like we've seen the videos. Rhea Ripley at the airport. Don't bug them while they're at the airport. But this Rey Mysterio. We've seen Liv Morgan there. Hell, we've even seen Jeff there, and Jeff was probably nice as pie. He just signed everybody's whatever, you know what I'm saying? And most of these idiots just do it so they can put shit on eBay, you know what I'm saying?
They got to leave Jeff alone.
They do, and we'll get to Jeff in a second here, but that's the thing. The main thing here is don't be a creep. Don't be a chooch. And for the love of God, man, let these people have their personal space and privacy.
Really.
Yeah, don't be a chooch. Come on.
Don't be a stalker.
And don't be a chooch. Come on.
Don't be a chooch.
Don't be a chooch.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the other thing that really grind a lot of people's gears this week, first and foremost, the Hardy Boys on NXT this week killed it. They got a win over the No Quarter Catch Crews, Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights.
Yes.
They put the full match on the CW network on YouTube. But here's the problem. Y'all, excuse my language, because I'm going to say it because of you, but y'all motherfuckers. I felt like Denzel Washington in Training Day. All you motherfuckers. So you mofos in the IWC, the Internet Wrestling community, and people who comment on YouTube are like, oh, this is where, the Hardys, it's not a big deal because it's NXT. Oh, what is this, like the retirement home for them? Oh, Jeff Hardy, what's he going to get, another DUI? Mofos. Like, that was like how many years ago? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
leave Jeff alone.
Thank you. Like, the guy is literally back to where he needs to be, coming off that disastrous run in AEW. And yes, I know he had his personal issues there. But at the same time, too, it's a big deal because the Hardy Boys have not been on WWE television in 4 or 5 years. Matt hasn't been on in 5 years. The last time we saw him, he was getting punted by Randy Orton.
He would not die.
Well, first of all, that...
No.
The last time we saw him was during the COVID era when Randy Orton was feuding with Edge and Randy Orton punted him and they had a match, and that was the end of Matt Hardy before he would go to AEW and feud with Chris Jericho, and Vanguard won and unleashed the Hounds and all that stuff during the COVID era. And then here comes Jeff in 2021 and said, you know what? And again, excuse my language, fuck my brother. I'm just going to come out and dance while he's getting beat up. And then he ran to the ring, and that was that. And then unfortunately the arrest happened, and then their rest of their AEW tenure wasn't so great. The TNA run has been excellent. They're the current TNA Tag Team Champions.
Let's keep it that way.
And now we're going to NXT Roadblock, where we're going to get the Hardys and Fraxium for the TNA Tag Team Championships. TNA Tag Team titles are being defended on NXT. So you have a great card. You got Obafemi and Moose. Let's go, Moose. What about the Moose?
What about the Moose? Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought that they would defend. I thought the Hardys were defending their titles on TNA.
What are you talking about? No. So, okay.
Wait
so,
I'm confused.
All right, hold on. So, if you, for those who haven't seen it, NXT Roadblock, which is going to be from the Garden, that might as well be Madison Square Garden, New York City. Santino Marella came out on this week's NXT, the director of Authority for TNA, right. And he said at Roadblock, I spoke with Ava, not Ava, but he said Ava. I spoke with Ava, and we agreed that at NXT Roadblock in New York City in 2 weeks, that Fraxium's going to face the Hardys for the TNA tag titles. So the TNA tag titles, much like the X Division title was defended this week, is going to be defended on NXT.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I can tell you who's going to win that.
Hardys aren't losing.
I don't see them losing the TNA tag titles,
No,
much like we saw Moose retain against Lexus King this week. I don't see the Hardys losing, but I think there's going to be more matches between the two.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's going to be really good, and it's really been beneficial. But yes, the point is as well, leave Jeff alone. Stop it with the ridiculous comments. And also, if you really want to go there, because there's tribalistic wrestling fans out there that constantly have to compare our companies, the main event of next week's pay-per-view is Neo Knox Mox against Cope for the AEW World Championship.
2 WWE stars.
It's literally the main event next week is Dean Ambrose versus Edge. Like for real. Like, keep it on the real here.
That's WWE.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and the
Former,
yes, but also at the same time too, you got John Maxley acting like a friggin' nationalist, being a friggin' neo-Knox over here, and the rest of the Romper Stomper gang got taken out on AEW, and then you got Cope, who just whatever. And I hate to say that, but it's just like this whole storyline has sucked, and who cares about Cope? And I hate the Cope. I cannot say Cope. It just irks me. I can't cope with Cope, if you will. It's a dumbass name, but yeah. So the point is, Edge is 51. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, yes, they look good, are almost 50. And yes, the Hardys are late 40s, are going to be 50. But the main thing is, they're there to help people in NXT, work with the younger talents. Because I'll say this, and you can agree with me, Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights look really good this week against them. That was a really good match on NXT.
Who was that?
And No Quarter Catch Crew, Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was a really good match, and that's the point. They're here to help the young talent. So, I mean, that's elevating. What the hell is Cope doing? Cope is beating people like the Malachi Blacks, and he's beating all these people, and he just had a feud with Christian, and now all of a sudden he comes back and he's like, I want the title. And it's just like, what?
Malachi Black ain't there now.
Well, no, Malachi Black is definitely on his way back to the WWE.
I think so.
Well, I mean, be with his wife on Smack It Down.
Mm-hmm.
Just what I'm saying. Now you got Ricky Starks there as Ricky Saints, and then the chant happened that probably would send Tony Khan over the edge. During the end of that match, it was Ricky Saints and Javon Evans against Ethan Page and Wes Lee. They were chanting, Tony fumbled. Tony fumbled.
Fumbled?
That he fumbled the ball by letting Ricky Starks leave AEW.
Oh.
So all you needed was Tony Khan to go on Twitter and go, those assholes, those NXT assholes want to chant that I fumbled. Ah! So that was a big takeaway from NXT. I'll pay you! We're going to insert the photo here. Well, we're going to see it, man. This is the things that we do. And I find it like this, and it's so funny when I do these shows. Like when I do predictions with Rob and Declan for these, I find that I even get more upset with AEW just because it's more to talk about and what a nincompoop Tony Khan is. Let me go on my dad's yacht.
Nincompoop.
Yes, on his dad's yacht, the mega yacht, as it's known, the mega yacht.
I'm going to be mega on the
I'll pay you. I love you, Mercedes.
Sail away.
Mercedes, give me a hug. I love you. Why can't we be friends, Phil? And also, he's in the middle of a lawsuit now, which is hilarious.
Who is?
So Ryan Nemeth is
I know.
is suing Tony Khan and CM Punk in the most ridiculous lawsuit in the history of lawsuits, claiming that he's been blackballed. And I'm like, Ryan, you're signed to TNA. Shut your punk ass mouth. Like you're on TNA with your brother. So how are you blackballed if you're signed with TNA? Like, geez, like, and also because CM Punk, he assaulted me. No, here's what happened. When CM Punk did the Tell Me If I'm Telling Lies promo on Collision and called the Young Bucks counterfeit Bucks, Ryan Nemeth took to social media and thought it was a good idea to tweet. He said, the softest man ever, or the softest man alive, pretty much making fun of CM Punk. Mm. And CM Punk went in that locker room and said, do we have a fucking problem? Do we need to step outside? And Ryan Nemeth said, no, I certainly don't want any trouble. I was just being a heel. And it's like, I ain't got no time for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole ridiculous lawsuit. And Ryan Nemeth just wants money. And Tony will be like, I'll pay you. Settlement.
I just personally think this is all stupid.
It is.
Everything.
It really is. But that's the problem. You can't get along. It's ridiculousness.
Why can't we all just get along?
And Tony doesn't know how to run it. We say it all the time about Tony. But Tony needs to get his head out of his ass. And then I won't be making fun of you, Tony.
Well, that's why I don't even talk about it. Because to me, there's nothing to talk about.
Well, that's the thing, too. You're kind of in the right because on the count of the fact that, like, AEW isn't exciting at all. And I quoted Daddy O on the latest edition of the Weekly Review. Because as my Daddy O said, he said AEW is not even cold. It's a glacier. And he's right. And he's right. But yes, that was the latest news and notes I just wanted to get out into the public. Besides the fact that the NXT fans were chanting Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, and singing a Booker T's theme song. And they're letting Tessa Blanchard have it. Tessa, we coming for you. She's a racist. F you, Tessa. Until that woman fully apologizes. Yes, until she fully apologizes. And I know her and La Rosa Negra made up. They took the photo together. That's not going to cut it because she hasn't addressed the fact that she said this, number one. And also, she has other people to apologize to that she bullied. Like Chelsea Green, Isla Dawn, Gigi Dolan, thank you. Yeah. Allison Kay, the former CNN and TNA. Like, you have a lot more people to apologize to, Tessa, so it ain't gonna cut it. It ain't gonna cut it. Tessa, we coming for you.
Yeah.
N-word. So with that being said,
there was somebody else we were going to talk about. I said something. And you said, well, we'll get to the Jerko.
What Jerko?
The one I can't stand.
Oh, Logan Paul. Well, that's going to be when we get to the match. But he did cut a good promo this week when he was going against CM Punk, and he busted CM Punk up. He slapped that boy in the face, and he busted his mouth.
Well, he's got that thing in his freaking hand, that piece.
Yeah, because he was a dumbass, and he punched freaking a wall, whatever it was, while he was drunk, and that's why he would have what he has. Titanium or something like that. Metal, titanium, something like that. Yeah. Well, but the thing is, too, he legit slapped the bejesus out of Punk on Raw. And also, there's a lot of people now that want to see CM Punk versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I am okay with that.
I'm okay with
I am okay with that.
Just as long as he doesn't win.
I don't see him winning because you can't have that man win. And we'll get to that in a second. But
he's got to be out of there. I can't stand him.
You and many people don't either. It's okay. So we have 4 matches and a segment to talk about. So we will start off, much like I did on the Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling prediction show. We're going to start off with the women. Because you women, we got to start off with the women over here. All the women, independent, throw your hands up at me, Destiny's Child. So, with that being said, first matchup, what I believe will start it because you got to start hot and you got to finish hot. We got Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Naomi versus Roxanne. Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light, Perez. I know you got problems with Roxanne. We'll get to that. Elimination Chamber match for a Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41. So, I am going to say this: hell no to Liv Morgan because of the fact that we've done Rhea and Liv a bajillion times. The feud has ended. Let's move on. And also, she's now one half of the women's tag team champions with Raquel Rodriguez.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Rhea have the title?
Yes, and the winner of this.
Is she in the
she's not in the Elimination Chamber. I'm saying the winner of this faces her at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Well, her or Io, because we got her and Io on Raw this coming week. So Liv Morgan, no, because we've seen it many a times, and she's now one half of the women's tag champs with Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes, I got you.
Bianca Belair and Naomi, no, because that has to cancel each other out because Jade Cargill is coming back soon, so we got to find out who attacked Jade. And I kind of think it's Naomi because the last time we saw Naomi before she left WWE, like with Mercedes, she was one half of the women's tag champ, so maybe she wants to be a tag champ again. I don't know. You can tie some of that stuff in, so that cancels it out. Roxanne, I want to be your man. Roxanne Perez. I'm going to say this, maybe, and a possibility because of the fact that she was the runner-up in the Royal Rumble. They've been building her up really strong, and that would be an interesting matchup, but I don't think they're going that way. I think we're going to get Roxanne and Bayley because of their interactions that they've been having, and I think Roxanne is going to get that big win over Bayley at WrestleMania. I know you don't want to see it, but they're really high on Roxanne right now.
I don't know why.
She's really good, all right? She's a great heel. Like, I know. So Roxanne, and
even when she wasn't a heel, I did not like her.
Roxanne, possibly. There you go. Bayley, no. And Alexa Bliss is the interesting one of this because, I mean, she did the whole promo, on I'm in charge, which is a takeoff of what happened the last time we saw her with Uncle Howdy asking her if she's in charge. So we're probably going to see some Uncle Howdy stuff right now, but I don't think we're going to see Wyatt Six yet because a certain someone is hurt by the name of Bo Dallas. So that's why we haven't seen him. He's injured. Yeah, I think he's injured. Yeah. So Alexa Bliss possibly because if you want to tie in the Wyatt Six stuff and the memories and stuff, when Alexa Bliss first started becoming very fiendish, when Bray Wyatt put the mandible claw on her and she started dressing differently and acting like the superpowers, who eliminated her in the 2021 Royal Rumble? Rhea Ripley. And the last time we saw an Elimination Chamber, it was coming down to her and Rhea Ripley and all these people. So there's history there with Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley. So that's who I'm aiming for. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss. So who are you going with?
That's who I hope it is. I was hoping.
Well, it's something different. It's something different.
But I don't know. Who else is in that match?
So it's Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne.
Oh God, I hope not Roxanne, but I'm going to stay with Alexa.
You're going to stay with Alexa Bliss too?
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. I don't think
Probably not. But
I don't think we've ever seen like a one-on-one match with them. I think that'd be something different. And also, it advances the Alexa Bliss storyline because the last time we saw her, she was going for the women's championship against Bianca, and then she got pregnant. So now we're back. So I'm curious. I want to see Alexa win, so I'm going with that girl, AB.
That sounds good. I'm curious.
There you go, Atlantic Star. So moving on to the next match, which we're going to do another women's matchup here. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. It is Tiffy and Trishy time against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Nia Jax just gave one of the softest annihilators to both Trish and Tiffy.
Yeah, I saw that.
On SmackDown. But here's the thing. People bitched about that online. It's like, oh, what the hell was that? I'm like, she doesn't want to kill the girls. Like, she's trying to be safe. Like, what the hell do you want? Like, she's been being safe and just, like, not hurting people. Like, that's what you want in wrestling. That's a good thing. But in this particular matchup,
it's going to be Tiffy.
Hold on a minute, man.
That's my choice.
Wait, I got to bring it to you. I got to
say it to you. You don't have to bring it to me. I'm
going to bring it to you, man.
Ow.
So Tiffany and Trishy, I like the pair up. I like the fact that we're getting Tiffany as the baby face as we're getting closer to WrestleMania. Yes. And I want to see her beat Charlotte.
Who do you think it's going to be, Jackson?
Well, Jackson is just looking at you. So we have Trish in here, which because it's the hometown of Toronto, I'm going to say Candice is going to eat the pin. Candice LeRae. I don't see Nia taking the pin. I'm going Tiffy and Trish. Go ahead.
I already said it.
Say it again.
Trish. Who am I saying?
Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Tiffy and Trishy. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an easy one just because it's Trish's hometown. Do I want to see Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax at WrestleMania? Not really. But I mean, if you're gonna,
I think though, what's her name? Tiffany's gonna win because she's also didn't have the belt all that long.
Well, no, there's no title on the line.
Oh, there isn't. But
it's just a tag match. Well, no, this is to build towards her and Charlotte, which I'm gonna say right now, Charlotte should not beat her at WrestleMania. Tiffany should. So I would be pissed like back at WrestleMania 36 when Charlotte beat Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. Like that irked me, but you can't have Charlotte win. You cannot. That's just, you have a great matchup here. Tell a good story. Put over Tiffy, and you like Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah. Why can't Charlotte win?
No. First of all,
I think she's won so many times.
Well, no, she's almost beaten the record, but she doesn't need it. Like, you have an established star in Tiffany who you're building as a babyface. Like, she was a heel with Nia in there, but they were still chanting her because she's so good. And she, for someone who's only been around for like 2 years, like, she's really good. And you also play off the fact that they both have gymnastics backgrounds. So you have a nice little similarities, and it works. And it's going to be synergy at WrestleMania. But Charlotte should not win. Much like I said at WrestleMania 36 5 years ago. Charlotte shouldn't have beat Rhea, but they did it. And she didn't have a long time, but still. Tiffy and Trish.
Roman should be back and beat somebody.
Well, we're going to get to Roman in a minute here. So we go on to the next matchup. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. Kevin Owens being outside that boy Sami Zayn's house last week on Raw. We've seen them so many times. If you guys have seen what they've done in Ring of Honor, their feud in NXT, them as a tag team, like, you know what you're getting with Kevin and Sami. From their main roster bouts at Battleground, their stuff at WrestleMania 32 in the ladder match when Sami dropped friggin' poor Kevin Owens on the friggin' ladder. Like, they have so many interactions and reiterations, but this time it's personal. It's unsanctioned. We've seen unsanctioned matches before. One of our favorites was the first pay-per-view we ever went to, SummerSlam 02, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Friggin' unsanctioned, that non-sanctioned match, one of the classics. That was
a good match.
It was really good. If nobody, and I always say that if you're new to wrestling and you want to watch a good match, watch that one. That'll hook you because of the story. And also the fact that, you know, I'll get him in a minute. Hold on.
Go ahead.
We will pause it. Give me a minute. But I also will say this. It's so funny to me because I always bring that up to you. Like, you can forget some stuff in wrestling, but you remember the whole, you know, that when Shawn Michaels got attacked, bloodied in the parking lot, and then Triple H is like, "You're damn right, it was me, Shawn." Like, you remember that, but like some of the stuff like from a few years ago, you can't remember. That makes me laugh.
It depends on what was important to me at the time.
But that match was a great build.
That was a good match.
That was a great build to the match, and that's the thing. Will you get something like Triple H and Shawn here? Maybe. I think they're going to go nuts. If you've ever seen them wrestle each other, they're going to go nuts. I got to go Kevin
Owens and Shawn. Oh, okay, gotcha. You're still talking about old times.
Yeah, I'm saying if there's anything like Sami and Kevin, they could do what Triple H and Shawn did. I think Sami and Kevin are going to go nuts. So you're going to see a brawl. And I'm going to say this right now. Sami, I don't see him winning. There's a lot of people that because of Karrion Kross in the background being the devil's advocate, a lot of people want to see a Karrion Kross Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania, which I'd be for, giving Karrion Kross the shine and him beating a top babyface at WrestleMania. So there's a layer to that there. So I see Kevin Owens winning, and then afterwards he goes to attack Sami some more. Randy Orton's music hits, he comes back. That sets up Randy and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. So who are you going with, Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn?
Oh wow! I was going to say Sami Zayn, but when you say that, is he scheduled to come back at that time?
Well, I think it only makes sense to do a WrestleMania match because he took the pile driver months ago.
No, I'm saying is what's his name coming? I can't.
Randy Orton.
Orton. Is he coming back?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm saying that would be the perfect time to bring him back.
I don't know. I wanted to say Sami Zayn only because Kevin
and Sami finally gets the revenge. Yeah.
I'm going to say Sami just to be different.
Okay. All
Not
right.
that I really think he's going to win.
It's going to be really good nonetheless. But I think if you're going to start Sami's trajectory of him kind of like, not stop caring for other people, care about yourself, which is what Karrion Kross has kind of been instilling into him, it makes sense. So I'm going to go Kev, you go Sami, which is cool because I think either way it's going to be a hell of a time. So.
I don't think Sami's going to win.
It's going to be good nonetheless. So with that being said, we're going to get to the segment portion before we get to the main event. So we have Cody and The Rock. I want your soul, Cody. The Rock playing the role. What? Why you got your head down, man? I want your soul, Cody. And which actually, they if you go on WWEshop.com, they have a T-shirt. I want your soul. They put the T-shirt out already. They put the T-shirt out. So The Rock does a segment that went on and on and on, and Rock repeated himself and went on and on and on to get to I want your soul, Cody. Dude, if you look at this matchup, if you look at this segment, The Rock is portraying 1998, 1999 Vince McMahon, and Cody is in the role of Vince wanted Rock to be the corporate champ. So the story was Survivor Series 98, Deadly Games. Mankind, Mick Foley, hi Mick. Mick Foley, Mankind was with Mr. McMahon, and he knew who I was. He did. Hi Mick at friggin' MacArthur Airport. You get that? I know this woman. But I've never, I don't want to where I've seen her from.
I can't place her. I can't. He was coming off the plane.
Your interaction with Mick Foley at MacArthur Airport. So we're in a situation where, like, back in the day where Mankind was with Vince, and Vince was, like, making him all corporate, and it looked like Mankind was going to win the WWF Championship that was vacant. But The Rock was in it, and they were putting The Rock through hell. But at the end, it was The Rock and Mankind, and Vince McMahon, much like he did to Bret Hart in 97, which was planned, this one, and screwed Mick Foley out of the match, and The Rock became the corporate champion. Rock is in the role of Vince, and he wants Cody to be like The Rock was when he was the champion in 1998, 1999. Do I see Cody going with The Rock?
Yes.
No, because I think when we get to the main event, I'm going to see who maybe it could be, because a lot of people want to see the favor, and I think maybe CM Punk could sell his soul, because he did say to Cody, I'm not going to stab you in the back, I'll stab you in the front. So what a better way to stab him in the front than to go with the guy who was going to take Cody's place last year with Roman and Rock, and then he inserted himself. So what better way to go with the guy that made Cody's life a living hell last year than this year to get his own and have CM Punk become a corporate guy and do something different? Because also at the same time, too, and we'll get to the match now, it plays a lot of variables into the chamber. So you're going to say he's going to say yes. You think you want to see a Cody heel turn, much like we saw Cody on the Indies being a heel?
No, I don't, but I think that's what's going to happen.
He's a great heel. I mean, Ring of Honor Cody, like it just him being a heel, like doing the Stardust cartwheel and flipping off the fans. Like, come on now. Well, he did also take a shot at Roman Reigns during one of them, which was not nice. Which that infamous promo. So Ring of Honor, this was during the summertime in 2016. So Roman had to drop the title because he that was later. No. He had a wellness violation where he got suspended for 30 days.
Yes,
and Cody made fun of that on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Again, this was 2016, and he was kind of like not happy with the fact that with WWE. But yeah, he cut a shoot on Roman Reigns on a friggin' Ring of Honor show, which was it happened. That happened. But hey, time heals all wounds.
So. I was going to say, it doesn't seem to affect Roman.
Well, Roman's like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, right. Talk some shit about me. Okay, Kevin, you're going to friggin' burst my eardrum? I'm going to give you a black eye, you son of a bitch. Receipt. And
he did.
He did. He gave him a receipt. And that's the difference between him and Tony. Did you see friggin' Kevin Owens bitching? No. You see anybody fighting? No. Fear for my life. So with that being said, I don't see it, but we shall see. So Adam, water. So we'll get to the main event now. So it is the men's elimination chamber because that segment brings us to this. So
is this the last one?
Yes, it is.
Already?
Yeah, we did the women's tag. We did everything, man. Like I said, there's only 4 matches in the segment.
I'm
So
not so with it tonight.
that's okay. That's okay. You're doing good. You're doing your thing.
I'm trying.
All right. So for the Elimination Chamber match for the men, for the Undisputed Championship match at WrestleMania 41, winner faces Cody, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. So, man, I don't see it being John Cena because I've said many a times I think we're going to get, because he eliminated Logan Paul in the Rumble, John Cena and Logan Paul at WrestleMania. And since this is going to be John Cena's last WrestleMania, he beats Logan Paul.
Yes, that sounds good to me. I like that one.
All right. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest have the history from the Rumble where Damian Priest eliminated Drew McIntyre. And, of course, last year, if you recall, when Drew beat Seth for the title, Damian Priest cashed his Money in the Bank, on Drew McIntyre after CM Punk took him out last year. Mm-hmm. So there's history there. 1 year later, they can have a rematch. So I think Drew and Damian cancel each other out. Cena and Logan Paul cancel each other out. It's got to come down to Punk and Rollins, and I think this is where we see the return.
Punk.
That's what I said. Hold on. We see Punk and Rollins, and you see the return of the Tribal Chief, and he comes out and screws Seth because people were like, oh, it's going to be because of what happened with the Rumble. It's going to be Punk versus Rollins versus Reigns. No, you do Seth versus Roman. You have a bigger story with them being in the Shield, him still having the grudge, and because Roman was so obsessed with that, why he lost last year, because he hit Seth in the back with the chair, because he still can't get over the fact 11 years later that Seth hit him in the back, and that was the end of the Shield. So there's history there. You finally get Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania. Of course, what happened at WrestleMania 31 as well, there's tie-in. Seth cashing in that Money in the Bank on Brock and Roman in that match. And who did Seth pin in that match? Roman. When he cashed in the Money in the Bank.
I don't even remember that.
WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
You remember that. Remember when he was the Money in the Bank and he cashed in at WrestleMania?
Nope.
Okay, fine.
Probably because Roman lost. So I forget. I just block it out.
Well, no, that was the one where you said he got beaten biblically, if you recall.
With what's his face?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Oh, that bothered me.
First of all, he busted his mouth. It wasn't like he was like a bloody mess. He wasn't that bad.
No, but it bothered me.
So that particular time period, yes, she blocked out Roman getting pinned by Seth Rollins. So I think a 1-on-1 match is due. CM Punk wins this because I want to see Tony Khan have a meltdown on Twitter, and also the fact that CM Punk, the promos that they've cut against each other, and also who eliminated CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble last year? Cody.
Oh.
So there's a tie-in there. So, and he said, I'm not going to stab you in the back. I'll stab you in the front. So Cody versus CM Punk to me is the money match. I'm going with CM Punk. And then cue Tony Khan on Twitter. Those assholes are going to main event my pay-per-view. They used to be with me. I made them. I made wrestling. Alternative. I'll pay you. I love you, Mercedes. You're a blessing to my company. So Tony Khan can have a meltdown. I'm going with CM Punk to win. And I think Cody and CM Punk is the way to go. I don't want to see Cody and Cena. No, we're not. Don't do that until later in the year. Have Cena kill Logan Paul, and I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
I'll be very
Hell,
happy.
if CM Punk even doesn't win this, I love the exchange on Raw. If you give me CM Punk and Logan Paul, and he hits him with the GTS, I'm happy.
Oh, I like that.
I'm happy.
Also. Mm-hmm.
Anybody beating up Logan Paul at WrestleMania, I'm happy. I'm happy. But yeah, and also he's full-time now, so we're going to get to see him every week.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I told you, I don't like the way this whole thing is going.
Well, you're not the only one. Some people have said that too. But I mean, the storytelling is there. You may not like Logan Paul, but he's good at what he does.
The storytelling. I don't like Logan Paul.
But
who else is it I don't like? There's quite a few.
You don't like Roxanne Perez for some reason.
I don't like her either.
Did nothing to you.
I know. I just don't like her. That's not like me. I didn't like her from the first time.
Well, she was a babyface when she beat Mandy Rose for the winning.
I didn't like her then either.
But she plays a great snot-nosed heel, and the thing is because she's short. It's the short complex. You're both short. You short women have attitudes.
Well. I have an attitude towards her. I don't like her.
But there's
even when she was nice, I want to knock the snot out of her.
But there's a lot really to take in. And also I think a lot of people, much like Daddy O said, like he wasn't feeling SmackDown this last week. A lot of people have been complaining about SmackDown because I think there's a part of Road Dogg is now riding it again. Road Diggity Dog is riding it again. But I don't blame him because first and foremost, AJ Styles stuck up for him because it's like, y'all realize this is a different regime now. Because when Road Dogg was writing, who was in charge? Vince. who's in charge now? Triple H.
Mhm.
So you have different regimes of people and group people who are going to be working with the writers and stuff. And I think they blame Road Dogg. They don't like the fact that it's 3 hours. And then the rumor now is when we go to June, they're going to go back to 2 hours.
I think that's better.
Yeah, and the third hour kills it because it does. It's when Raw was 3 hours like before, it was flying by because it was good television. Now SmackDown's just kind of like meh. I hate to even put it like that, but SmackDown's been kind of meh. So once you go back to the 2 hour formula, it's going to be good. But yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, not a lot to predict.
Wait a minute. What about you think? What do you think of Raw these days?
Raw? I think with what they're doing on Netflix and what we're getting, I've been enjoying it. I think they've highlighted Penta very well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when Phoenix comes in, the Lucha Brothers as tag team is going to be sweet. The New Day has a new little bit of flavor to them since they kicked Big E to the curb. The title picture is very cool with Braun Breaker, too, because now AJ maybe won a shot after he caught that T-shirt. My goodness gracious. Like, Braun Breaker and AJ Styles is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You have Sami Zayn maybe in Karrion Kross. You have Ivy Nile going against Lyra Valkyria. There's Dakota Kai in the mix. You have a lot to really take into. So Raw, I've had a problem with. I think it's just because SmackDown has just been there's no Roman Reigns. The Jacob Fatu solo Tama thing is interesting because the roles are reversed. I love you, Jacob. And the tag team division with DIY, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, and Motor City, I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
But it drags, and I hate to say that, but SmackDown does kind of drag over Raw. Because Raw, they have a nice little sweet spot of pacing of just like 2.5 hours. Yeah. SmackDown just kind of drags.
I'm sorry, I just haven't been feeling any of it. I don't like I don't like a lot of the people that they're pushing.
And that's fine. That's okay. Because it's just, I mean, you like the storytelling, but you don't like the people that they're pushing.
No, I don't.
But I think you've developed over time of appreciation for storytelling, which is why, and we'll say this, she's not the biggest fan of AEW. And I myself am not either, but I see the big picture of, hey, if you're not liking AEW, come see what Mike has to say. Come see what my people have to say about this, because I'll give you my personal opinion. And I also get to say, I'll pay you, and laugh about it, because Tony Khan is such a big fucking money mark. So, it is what it is.
All right, I'm sorry for anybody who I'm offending, but I didn't like AEW from the day one. Not day one, I didn't like
it. I've always looked at it like this. Was the WWE in 2019?
Traitors. They all
stop it. No, stop it.
That's another thing.
No, it's not traitors. It's just, I understand why they left.
There for how many
I
years?
Understand that, but the thing is, the creative was the shits at the time. And I'll even say this. I've said it on many shows. Raw was a chore when I was doing Max and stuff. Like, it's a chore because 2018 and 2019 WWE was not the best, especially 2019. Fucking the WWE had some bright moments like Bray Wyatt introducing the Fiend character, and you got to see Roman come back from leukemia, which was great to see. But then he had horrible storylines with Shane McMahon, and he was in there with Eric Rowan because who attacked him, even though we knew it was Eric Rowan. He had the friggin' feud with Baron Corbin with the dog food and all that. Roman didn't have a great 2019. And they were relying on the older stars like Goldberg and The Undertaker. So, because that was Vince's era. Like, he was focusing not on just elevating the new guys, but coming back to the old guys. And that was a big issue of the time. And then you have this upstart like AEW. And it's exciting because you have guys like Cody Rhodes, who was making a name for himself on the indies and coming back and resurging it with NWA, TNA, and doing all these stuff. You highlighted the Young Bucks, who are very big in Ring of Honor and New Japan, and they've been all over the world. And you're introducing Kenny Omega to the audience. And before Chris Jericho was what he is now.
But that's when I discovered I like storylines, because I'm like, what are these guys fighting about? Why are they fighting?
Well, okay, all right. I was getting there, man. You just jumped on the gun. I'm saying, man. I'm just saying, you're being an eager beaver. What are you, Nicola? Nicola likes to do that. She jumps the gun too. You females. I'm just kidding. But I look at it like this. You just hit me. So with that being said, no, I look at it like this. Like she said, how storylines are. Tony is just like, he's literally like Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. That's literally what he's saying. He's like, if you don't know about the Young Bucks in New Japan, then fuck you guys. Like, fuck you for not knowing is pretty much what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. But he doesn't take time to explain it. It's like, all right, I'll give you an example. Next week is Mercedes Moné against Momo Watanabe for the TBS Championship. Now, if you don't know who Momo Watanabe is, she's a wrestler from Stardom. She wrestled once for AEW on Forbidden Door, and she wrestled Mercedes last summer on a New Japan show. So it's like, hey, remember when they wrestled last summer at New Japan? So now we're going to do it again, and because she won this cup at Wrestle Dynasty, and she can challenge whatever women's champion she wants, and everybody's like, we've never seen this woman before in our life, and also it's just, that's great. They wrestled in Japan, and you're just like, hey, we're going to do it here. And it's like when Chris Jericho fought Atlantis Jr., and Atlantis Jr. was the son of Atlantis, who was a wrestler in Mexico. And Chris Jericho's just like on Twitter going, hey, Atlantis Jr., let's wrestle on Dynamite. And then they're like, oh, but him and his father wrestled, and now he wants to wrestle his son. It's like stuff that you can build for weeks. You're just blowing your load and putting it on TV right away. Mm-hmm. He blows his load too much. Tony Khan is a premature ejaculator. That's literally what it is. Hey, man, it's what it is. I'm speaking the truth. Mm-hmm. And that's why storylines and what we're doing now in WWE to get to where we are. And I'm going to say your favorite word here, subtleties, intricacies, and nuances that go with it. And AEW is just like, we're going to wrestle, and it's going to be great. Don't you understand how great this is? These matches are going to be bangers.
No, I don't understand.
But that's the thing with AEW. It's like, but it's bangers. I'm like, that's great. But you can only rely on dream matches and bangers for so long. And I'm sorry to say this, Adam Copeland against Minoru Suzuki is not a dream match. Nobody, and Adam Copeland's like, you ever thought we've seen this? No, because nobody in their lifetime has ever said, you know what? I want to see Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki. I want to see that. I see what you're doing. Like, I want to see that. I want to see Adam Copeland and Minoru Suzuki. I definitely want to see that. No, we don't. That's the thing, too. And as well, Tony does the stop and start pushes. And this week on Dynamite, like even 2 weeks ago with Thunder Rosa, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford, like Thunder didn't swing the chair right. And I know she tried to explain it, but that's why there's production meetings on like how we're going to do this. This is the spot. Tony doesn't do production meetings. And this week, last night on Dynamite, when MJF took out Christopher Daniels, you see Christopher Daniels doing this live on camera. He's blading himself while they're going on him live with this friggin' whatever in his hand. He's bleeding himself until the blood could come out. He's literally doing that. And they caught it on camera. You know how embarrassing that is?
That looks ridiculous.
I know, because all of a sudden you just see, it shows to Christopher Daniels in the back like this, but then you see Christopher Daniels go. And like, God almighty. That's the issues that they have. That's why people laugh at this company. And I don't hate AEW. I don't want to see, this one is probably going to be like, I wish AEW would go out of business. I don't wish ill will on AEW because I like competition. But I'm going to say this right now. TNA is on the upswing. TNA is working with NXT, and it's been good. You know what I'm saying? You can keep AJ Francis off my television. I'll be happy. But other than that, like, they have some good stuff. They have great stars in the X division. They have the Knockouts division that's really well. You got Masha Slamovich as the champ. Tessa Blanchard, say what you will about her. She is a great wrestler, but she's also a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, too, you have the young talents going over there, much like we've seen with the Tavian Heights and the Miles Bourne and the Brindley Reeses of the world and the Carmen Petroviches and the Izzy Dame and all these women from NXT go over there. Jordan Grace, before she got signed, wrestling Roxanne. And now you got Jordan Grace wanting the winner of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer at Roadblock. So you've built these women, and you had Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble, and Joe Hendry got a big pop. Say his name, and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Come on.
I don't want
Just clap. Thank you. That's what I'm saying, man. There's a way of elevating stars, and Tony is look at Jade Cargill. See, you're bringing this up. Look at Jade Cargill. When Jade Cargill went to WWE, she wanted to have let's get some mass stuff on it. I want to do TV and movies. Tony's like, well, you just had a great match. Doesn't that matter? You're the champion. And Tony doesn't see the big picture like that. He just is focused on bangers. It's all about the matches.
And she needed training. She sucks.
Oh, well, she's
she's
okay, but she works at it too. Like, that's the thing. It's like you have potential with these people, but you have stop-start. You have stop-start pushes. You have people like Britt Baker, who was going against Serena Deeb, and she was just saying nobody cares, which is like, then why the hell are we doing this storyline then? There's so many things that's just wrong with that company, and it's not the wrestler's fault. It's the dingus that is in charge. It's the freaking dingus that's in charge because he just wants to have a good time. Why are you ruining my good time? I have a boner. Why don't you? Like, that's literally what it is. Tony's got a chubby, and I'm like, Tony, I don't got a chubby. That's what it is.
I know. Okay, enough about him.
What?
I don't want to talk about him.
Well, you're the one bringing it up.
I did not.
You're talking about storylines and stuff.
You said it, and I explained why I liked it.
Well, I'm explaining why also.
Why I don't like AEW.
I'm just saying, man. Tony's got a Woody. So with that being said, Tony and his Woody and whatnot, that concludes the prediction show. I'm sorry for the tirade, ladies and gentlemen, but she brought up a lot of good points as to why storytelling is better than actual bangers. And there's nothing wrong if you like that style of wrestling. That's cool. But in the long run, what goes over more?
Like I said, I hope I didn't offend anybody.
You're not offending anybody.
My personal opinion is just how I feel about it.
It's not. First of all, you're not offending anybody because a lot of people feel the same way you do.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did you also see why AEW's attendance and ratings are dwindling?
I heard that.
Because
it really wasn't in the 500s.
So this week, people are like, "Are you going to talk about the ratings?" Yes. So NXT did 799,000 viewers with the addition of the Hardys on there, and you had Moose and Lexus King, so you had some TNA people, and a lot of people are invested in Oba and Moose. They wanted to see the Hardys. They want to see Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. So you have a lot of compelling stuff there, and you have a lot of people on the rise. And AEW did 598,000 viewers, so they ain't never beaten NXT ever again.
No, don't say that. You don't know, and you don't.
No, I'm gonna say it.
Have them have bad luck. So just that you don't think so, but who knows?
First of all, I'm gonna say it because
I like Julia.
I do too, but I can tell when something sucks, and this sucks. I've been watching wrestling for over 20 plus years. I can tell you what sucks and what doesn't suck.
I hear you.
You've been watching at the same time as me. You're a beaver.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. So you
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. You can make a valid case in your own right. So yeah.
I did. I said what I had to say. I don't have much to say tonight. I told
You're
you.
totally fine. I appreciate you doing this. We gave you another prediction show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoyed our tirade. And I'm sure a lot of you were going to disagree, and a lot of you were going to agree.
Who's tirade? I didn't do a tirade. You tirade.
Well, I'm saying you tiraded a little bit. You had a smidge of a tirade.
I had a smidge. I didn't have a tirade like I had the other night.
Well, my blood pressure will probably be going up next week because we'll be back with Deeper to the Heart of Wrestling doing predictions for Revolution. You do not have to do that. I'm mostly with you. We're going to do more WWE shows because you don't want to.
I don't want to do AEW.
Yeah, just say fuck you, Tony. Fuck you.
That's what I said.
Yeah, there you go, Tony.
That.
Fuck you and your Jaguar penis. Yeah, fuck you and your Jaguar penis. There you go. So
what the hell is a Jaguar penis?
Jacksonville Jaguars. He has a Jaguar.
Oh, I like Jaguar. I'm sorry, I don't like the team because of him, but I wish if Trevor Lawrence could just get on another team, I'd be so happy.
Trevor Lawrence is probably like, Shad, why is your son constantly wanting to hug me? He literally won't stop hugging me.
Trevor Lawrence is coming back. There was rumors about him going somewhere else, but he said he didn't know about
the point of the matter is like, Shad, can you get your son to stop hugging me, please?
I don't know if he said that or not. I don't know if he's trying to.
There was that infamous moment where they won and he's running and his cell phone fell out of his pocket. It was hilarious.
Oh, no.
It's Tony. Not that Tony. Feels good. Our anniversary.
It's our anniversary.
Whatever you want. Yes. Not that good, Tony.
Tony does it good.
Oh my goodness. So with that being said,
feels good.
We appreciate you. We love you all.
Tony.
Yes, it is. That's Tony.
It is Tony.
Montel Jordan did This Is How We Do It.
Yeah, that's what I get confused.
Good God, man. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you listening to our predictions. We talked a lot about the news. We gave you our thoughts and analysis, and we went on a tirade a little bit. Well, I did. She, not so much. But if you want to see my blood pressure go up a little bit more, we're going to be doing predictions for Revolution next week, headlined by Neo Knox Mox against Cope for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Robert and Nico.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so the point is, anytime you and I do predictions, it'll be for WWE because you like that. You like it more over AEW. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to, because, again, it's going to be nuts. I'll be going, so, I'll pay you. Water. So you can hear me go off about Mox and Cope and all the matches like Mercedes and Momo Watanabe. And, we got Tony Storm and Mariah May. And I like Tony Storm, so that's going to be fun.
The reason why we're yelling water, just so you know.
Adam Hopkins, who's the PR guy for
is always
AEW now.
Yeah, and whatever he's drinking.
Adam goes over there and gets him to. So we go, Adam, water. Well, I think he's gotten better at that because the press conferences have been a little bit shorter. And somebody was like, hey, Tony, can you...
Renee is kind of real diminished.
Like, Tony, can you, not talk for 2 hours and tell me how everything's great? It's the greatest thing that's ever great. So with that being said, you can expect that next week and a lot of content to come. Uncaged episode 2 for season 5 with my boy DC. We got Rob on the show, and we're talking about what makes a great wrestling theme song. And then probably either this weekend or later next week, Dan and I are going to be looking back at the 15-year anniversary of the first edition of NXT. We Are Wild and Young, with featuring Chris Jericho versus Daniel Bryan in the main event. That was when they had the pros and before the Nexus would come into fruition back then.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And Daniel Bryan knocking Michael Cole on his ass for being – remember that?
Yes.
Because Michael Cole was a heel at the time.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to get into –
I like that one.
Me too. We're going to get into that in a few days. So Daniel and I will be recording it up too. So a lot of content coming for the channel. This is where I would say promote your social media, but you not so much.
I don't even know what the heck it is anymore.
Well, it was Rapture 116, but you're not in that account right now. You have something
and I
else.
will not go on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I will not be on Twitter. No.
Well,
or X or whatever.
X.
I will not do
doing
that.
it. Not doing it. Well,
Nope.
we give the
I'll
finger.
be over there, Blue Sky with Nick.
God. So
I don't have an account there yet.
she doesn't have a Blue Sky. It's all right. Rob's working on an account for us with Blue Sky. So you'll probably get more of me on Blue Sky too. I just have to, yeah. And here's the thing too. If you want to be up with the spastastic one, that is Elon Musk, that's y'all thing. I mean, not so much. I'm on it because it's promotion, but I don't like to be on it all because it'll give me a headache. And honestly, social media nowadays gives me a headache.
Uh-huh.
It does.
I'm not. What the hell social media do I have now?
Nothing.
What did I used to promote?
Rapture 116, but you're not on that anymore. That was it. I mean,
Oh.
if you want Instagram, it's Rapture 116.
I don't have Instagram.
I think you do. I might have started it, but I don't remember. But I don't think you use it.
No, I don't use anything.
Anyway, if you just want to follow all the links, if you were to follow her on social media, it used to be Rapture 116, but she hasn't used it in like forever. Forever.
I know.
Be honest, she hasn't used it in forever, which in a way she's in the right because social media is a pain in the ass.
I kind of fell off the social media scene.
Well, you're not wrong on that. As I started on Facebook in 2010, and as I've gotten older, I hate social media, but I have to do it for this. So anyway, there's my rant on social media. If you want to follow yours truly on social media, it's SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter front. It's Larkin_92 or MLarkinMB on the IG front, SteveandMikeShow.com and LFCfights.com for all your lingerie fighting championship needs. If you want to follow this fine YouTube, it's Mike Larkin92. We have hit over 1,160 plus subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Let's keep getting it up and keep listening to the content. Like it.
YouTube, I like.
Keep liking it. Keep commenting, interact, engage. We do appreciate it wholeheartedly. A lot of the playlists you get on here is Steve and Mike Show with Steve and I, which we'll be recording very soon as well. IceNet Pod, where Steve talks about hockey. You can check out the Pop Culture History podcast I do every once in a while. On the Mic with Mike, of course, with all people of all facets of life. The LFC podcast. Dan and I doing Uncaged, the weekly review with Paul, Dan, and I. And, of course, Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, and so much more. So with that being said, my name is Mike Larkin. For my mommy, this concludes another edition of the Prediction Show. And do you have any final words for the people before we close this dang out?
No, just enjoy the show Saturday, and thanks for listening.
Saturday, Elimination Chamber, 7 p.m. It's going down. It's not in Australia like last year. 4 a.m. in the morning with some shoeys. Hell to the yeah.
Listen to his channels. He's good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's true. It's true. He knows what he's talking about.
I do. And I know some of the AEW fans are like, what do you know, man?
He does know what he's talking about.
I'm just saying.
So say, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Shut your punk ass mouths if you got a problem. Also,
talking to me like
no,
that?
talking to the people who say that shit.
haters?
Yeah, the haters, if they say that. Friggin' people got on friggin' Rob and I on TikTok. I'll mention this story. So Bear Boulder, the one from AEW who got released for strangling his woman, that one, we said, we gave the big double bird to friggin' Bear Boulder on the show. And Robert and I said that I don't care what it is. You don't put your hands on a woman, which correct, right? You don't put your hands on a woman. Oh, the people, it's like, oh, you guys probably have never been with a woman. Oh, how about the fact that what if she has a knife or what if she has a gun? Run! Run! Like, why are you going to go at her if she's got a gun or a knife? Again, it's just like, oh, but that's an old school mentality. I don't know. I've never put my hands on a woman. Okay, like that shit don't happen. All right, like coming out at us because we said that it does matter. What are you talking about? Why are you defending this man who strangled this bitch, who strangled this woman? Excuse me for saying bitch. I mean strangled this woman. I'm getting hyped. She's not a bitch. You're getting me all irked. I apologize. Strangled this woman, and you gonna come at me for saying, oh, you should never put your hands on a woman ever.
Well, you could try and hit the gun out of her hand.
But the problem is, if she's got a gun, I ain't going near her.
No, I just, It's all wrong.
It is all
it's
wrong. But the
wrong.
problem
it's wrong
is,
for a woman to put a gun on a guy. It's wrong
God.
for a guy to hit a girl.
I'm sorry.
It's just all
That's
wrong.
my thing. Is I don't put my hands on a woman. I've always believed that.
You don't.
And
You're
apparently,
not supposed to hit a
yeah,
woman.
exactly. And if y'all got a problem with that, you know,
And hopefully, if she is a woman, you wouldn't want to hit her.
hell to the no. That's what I'm saying.
A real woman.
Yeah,
That is.
take pride in that. Like, don't come at freaking Rob and I for freaking saying that. You friggin' chuckle.
Who's listening to you?
No, people on TikTok. The people on TikTok, because Robert posted the
Oh,
thing.
right. You didn't post
No,
it.
Robert did on the TikTok. So it's like, hey, chuckle fucks, knock it off. So with that,
Oh my goodness, there's just so much angst.
There's a lot of angst
That's
because people don't
ridiculous.
STFU, which used to be John Cena's move, the STFU,
I know.
and y'all know what it means. So with
Yes.
that being said, for my mommy, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you for listening to another predictions channel through angst and through rants. And if you want, you want to go for a rant on the way out here, you
I'll
like
be
to rant.
nice.
It's okay. I'm just saying,
No,
man.
I'm not ranting anything.
I'm just saying, boomer mentality.
That's what I'm told. Anyway, listen,
We'll see
enjoy the show.
Enjoy Elimination Chamber. We'll see you next time for another predictions. We'll be back for WrestleMania. We'll try to for WrestleMania.
Hopefully, I'll be better that day.
All right.
Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Later. What?
Gator.
What?
What?
Earth.
Oh, no. But, what's his name? Broad Breaker.
Earth.
Earth.
Chill.
Leave me alone.
See you.